All right, y'all. So I'm back for Love and Hip Hop Miami. This is the season premiere. Um, the episode opens with this girl named Amara La Negra. She's performing at this very popular concert, or I mean festival, that they have every year in Miami, and she's a beautiful girl. I love her skin. I love the afro. I love the fact that she calls herself an Afro Latina. You guys know that there's some Latinos don't like to embrace the fact that they have, African roots in them. So it definitely was a great thing to see her embrace both sides or whatever. And she talks about how her mom sacrificed everything for her, for her dreams and everything, and she wants to cross over into the American market. So she, after she finishes performing, she goes backstage and links up with some other Latinas that she knows. One girl by the name of Veronica Vega, and the other girl name is Simply Jess. So she's telling them about, trying to cross over, and how she embraces, her Latina side and, her black side. And, she feels like that she can help open up doors for, women just like her. So later on, she goes to get drinks with this producer named Young Hollywood. I found out his Instagram, they are tearing him up in his comments, and rightfully so. Rightfully so. I'm just like, God damn, Mona, you bringing this fuck shit on the first episode? But anyways, so she brings her mom with her. And I don't think she said like her mom was like her manager or anything like that. She just likes to bring her mom out on the town with her everywhere that she goes. And it's like a 2-for-1 deal. So you either accept it or you don't. And her mom usually sees things that she doesn't. And I understand that, but yeah, it is weird to just be having your mom just everywhere with you or whatever. But anyways, so then we get introduced to Gunplay, and I like Gunplay. He's from Rick Ross's, MMG label. And, he talks about how he's from the slums of Miami, okay? Like, yeah, South Beach is cool or whatever, but he from the hood, okay? Carroll City. And he talks about how he got a second chance at life because a few years ago he was facing a life sentence, and I do remember hearing about that. And he has this lady named Kiara, and she's scared about him moving back to Miami and, relapsing because I think I do remember him talking about him, doing drugs and stuff like that. And, I think being addicted to alcohol. And, he done messed around with a few chicks in Miami too. And they flash back to him being in the studio with this girl named Miami Tip, which we're gonna see her a little later on in the episode. Which we see her a little later on in the episode. And but he talks about and he talks about how he did used to kind of mess around with her, but Kiara doesn't have anything to worry about because he's new and improved, and he meets up with Trick Daddy. Now listen, we're not going to talk about how Trick Daddy looked this season, okay? We know how he looked, okay? The man has lupus, and we know he ain't taking the medication that the doctor prescribed him. He's self-medicating. So we not going to talk about how he look, okay? I'm just saying. But anyways, so he talks about his girl and, the temptations of moving back to Miami. And he wants Trick to be on his album and everything. And, Trick is cool with it because he don't just collaborate with any and everybody, Gunplay. He real. He real, and he from Miami. And, he's tired of everybody from the West Coast and the East Coast taking their vibe and their style and not giving them credit. Y'all know Trick Daddy he done went off a few times in some videos about that shit, okay? So, he talks about how he wants Gunplay to be on him and Trina's album, the TNT album, because they're like a dynamite when they come together and make music. So then we get a blast from the past. That damn Shay Bucky Johnson done came up on and through here, okay? To run amok. And, I will say say this, and I'm pretty sure some other people probably done said it. Some people who done, who reviews, well, who plans on reviewing this show, has said it as well or whatever. But when she was on, like, even back when she was on Flavor of Love, and I liked her then. I didn't like her when she was on Love and Hip Hop Atlanta, and I'm not gonna like her on here. But I actually liked her when she was on Flavor of Love. But I always said to myself, she looked like Francine from Arthur. She looked like Francine, y'all. And like I said, I know I'm not the only one who sees it. I'm pretty sure other people probably done said the shit. But she looked like motherfucking Francine, okay? But yeah, I just had to, point that out. But anyways, she talks about how she was depressed about the breakup with Scrappy and everything. And I'm just like, breakup? You was the side chick. What breakup? You know what I'm saying? Like, he done had 2 different girls since. Well, I did hear that he was allegedly still kind of messing around with her even when he had got with Bambi, but I don't know, but whatever. Anyways, so she, talks about how Pleasure P from Pretty Ricky has helped her through, that depression and everything. But it's been hard, for them because for the last 2 years, they've been in a long distance relationship. So now she's officially moving to Miami to see, where things go between them two. And, they're at her house and everything. And, she got on this lingerie stuff or whatever, trying to have a serious conversation with him. And, he's been on the road and everything, and now he's trying to put Pretty Ricky back together. She's not with it. She's not with it. And he's like, listen, it's a bigger picture here. We have a lot of fans who've been wanting this. And she's like, no, you have a lot of fans. They're just ducks in the pond. And I'm just like, listen, I understand, she feels like that they did him wrong. They did some shit. We know about some of the shit that they done went through, the fights and, the rumors that Pleasure had out on him and, all this stuff that they went through. But it's like, Shay, this is not the only group that done went through some shit. Pretty Ricky is not the only group that done went through some shit and got back together. We got Escape, we got New Edition, and we know they went through some shit, okay? Who else? Salt and Pepper, they went through their shit, got back together, reconciled or whatever. So yeah, Pretty Ricky is not the only group that done been through some shit, that done had fights and rumors, spreading and everything. So if he want to get back with them, then you need to fall the fuck back and get over it. Like, I understand you feel like that's your man, you feel like they did him wrong, this, that, and the third, but if he's not tripping about it and he's trying to make a conscious effort to get back with them, then you need to fall the fuck back. Okay, so then we have Trick Daddy and Trina, and they performing You Don't Know Now Nigga. They performing that at, this pool party and everything. And, her cousin is this guy named Bobby Lights. And right before this scene, we got introduced to Bobby, and he was talking about how, he's a rapper and he's openly gay and how hard it is. You know how it is, being a gay rapper in, the music industry. They, kind of discriminate against you and everything. So, like I said, we find out that he's, Trina's cousin. He's trying to get into her after party or whatever. He's telling the bouncer his name, and the bouncer is like, you're not on the list or the VIP list, And somebody comes out and says, just let him in and everything. So he goes to where, Trina is at or whatever. And, he's all hyped, like, your show was lit and everything. Now, I did see some of the comments on VH1's, like, Facebook page or whatever. And some people were saying Trina was acting real stank with her cousin. And yeah, she kind of was, you know what I'm saying? But I could understand, her position as well. You know what I'm saying? Bobby is a lot to deal with. And, like I said, he was all hyped up and everything. And she tells him to calm down because he's being too loud. And, I know different type of, gay men. I know some gay men that are, chill. I know some gay guys like Bobby who's just hyped up and everything is, girl, let me tell you what happened. You know what I'm saying? So, you just handle, you just deal with it accordingly. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, so like I said, she's telling him to calm down or whatever, and I was just like, damn, like he hyping you up about, the show and everything. You telling him to calm down, and like I don't know. I thought that was kind of a little bit funky and everything, but she's like, you disrespectful. You show up to this event not wearing all white because it was an all white event. And, he's like, I didn't get the memo. I didn't know. And he feels like he should have gotten the proper invite because, he's family. And, she tells him that he don't know how to conduct himself. And she talks about how back in 2016, Bobby got into a fight with her assistant named Alvin, and they show the clip or whatever. So, that's why she doesn't invite him anywhere. So he's trying to tag along to the next spot or whatever. And she's like, there's no tag along, I'll see you another time. And, he's like, well, damn, you know what I'm saying? And he's like, I see you got your little minions here and everything talking about her workers. And, he's like that he always shows support to her. But, when he feels disrespected, he's going to say it. And, like I said, she's telling him once again he doesn't know how to act or whatever. And he's like, no, that's not the reason or whatever. Your minions are disrespecting me. So I don't know if it's some more in the mix or whatever between them two and everything besides just what we're seeing right now. But yeah, anyways, she tells him, you better be grateful that I'm not throwing you out right now. And, she walks away. So then we have Pretty Ricky meeting up at somebody's house. I don't remember who house it was. But they meet up. Slickum, bless his heart, Lord have mercy. I don't know if y'all saw when they were on the Breakfast Club a few months ago. But Slickum was toasted, okay? And he was, I think he was drinking before he had got there. Then he was asking Charlamagne for, for a bottle and everything. And he kept on drinking from the bottle. Spectacular had to take the bottle from him after a while and everything. Yeah. Just bless his heart. But anyways, so he was making a joke about, I'm tired of being the glue to hold the group together, and I'm glad everybody pulling their own weight now, you know what I'm saying? And so, Baby Blue done blew up. He's like, well, I'm glad too, because I felt in the past I had to pull everything. Pleasure P, he's tired of the blame game, and he's like, this is why they couldn't get back together before and all this other stuff, which I do understand. You know what I'm saying? Everybody needs to take their share of blame. And Baby Blue, he starts to get in his motherfucking bag, and he's like, I put everything into this group or whatever, and Pleasure P is like, everybody put in, what are you talking about? And Baby Blue is like, I'm the one who stayed at the studio, you always leave early and everything. And Pleasure P was like, you didn't have to stay at the studio or whatever. And he was like, I was the one who was mixing and engineering, so what are you talking about? And I'm the reason why you got that #1 record and da. And Spectacular finally had to step in and be like, listen, y'all, this is different this time. We older. Everybody's going to pull their weight. So cut the shit. Okay. So then Amara, she meets up with the dude, Young Hollywood. And, he tells her, let's say we do a record together. I need you to look a certain way. And I'm just like, oh, Lord, here we go with the bullshit. She's like, what do you mean? And he wants more Beyonce and less Macy Gray. Mona, if this show come back for a season 2, don't bring this motherfucker back up here. I'm letting you know, do not bring this motherfucker back up here. Like, this whole scene was just so offensive to me. You know what I'm saying? he's like, and then speaking of Beyonce rocked the afro during, what was that movie? The Austin Powers movie. Yeah, she had an afro and rocked that shit proudly. So what are you talking about? Child, please. Okay. So, like, why are you trying to, just change up her look? Like, she's trying to have a look that's going to, make her stand out and show, her roots. You know what I'm saying? Like, what the fuck? You know what I mean? But anyway, so, he's saying something about elegant or whatever, and she's like, oh, so I can't be elegant with the fro? And pretty much he's like, yeah, I guess so, and everything. And she's irritated, and she's like, I'm Afro-Latina. And he's like, wait, so are you saying you're African, or it's because you have a fro? And I'm just like, this stupid cunt. Okay, I don't know how else to say it. This stupid fucking cunt. You need to go back to motherfucking school because of an app. Really? Really? You know what I'm saying? And she's like, in case you haven't noticed, I am black, and he's trying to figure out the whole black and proud thing. And she's like, listen, everybody is not J-Lo or Sofia Vergara. Where's the girls that look like me? You know what I'm saying? And he keeps on doing the whole, fist pump, black power thing. And I'm just like, are you fucking serious right now? Like, I just found that to be just so fucking offensive. And like, he was just making fun of, of the shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, he making fun of black power and all that. Like, I just was not here for this shit. I was not here for this shit at all. You know what I'm saying? And she's over it. And I'm over it. I've been over it. And this is only the first fucking episode, okay? And, he claims he didn't mean to offend her or whatever, but you did. With your fucking ignorance. And she walked away. So then we get, like, y'all, ooh. Anyways, we get Gunplay and Kiara. They meeting up for lunch. And, she's from Chicago, and she was shot 3 times in a drive-by shooting. And I was like, damn, And this was around the same time where, he was facing his life sentence. So she's still concerned about Miami or whatever. And, she's like, you got disrespectful ass exes and groupies. And, he's trying to reassure her that she ain't got to worry about that. He talks about, his album. And she's like, oh, so what female artist did you have in mind? And he was like, why would you go there? And she's like, because I need to know. So he talks about, the girl Miami Tip. And, she doesn't really say too much. And she doesn't know that, they did smash in the past. And he feels like she doesn't need to know. And I'm just like, well, she knows now because y'all are on national TV. I mean, but I'm pretty sure she probably found out during the season. But I'm just saying, like, even if he would have went this whole season without saying something like, well, she know now. You know what I'm saying? But anyways, so then we get Pretty Ricky. They're doing the show or whatever, and motherfucking Shay comes. And like I said, running amok. So, they're backstage or whatever. Security is holding her back at first and everything. And, Pleasure P is telling them, like, come on, it's cool, let her back in here. You know what I'm saying? And, he didn't know that she was going to be there. You know what I'm saying? Especially because she was so opposed to him being back with the group. And, Baby Blue was like, oh, what you doing here and everything? And she's like, supporting my man or whatever. She's like, oh, I see this group back together. I see shit wasn't good not too long ago. Just doing the fucking most. And Baby Blue is like, he's saying to Pleasure, like, yo, where you found this hoe at a halfway house? I was like, Lord, that Baby Blue, come on, you wrong for that. But Shay did start the shit, though. You know what I'm saying? And, she's like, he the one going to jumpstart your career that's non-existent right now. I'm like, but Shay, what the fuck do you do? What the fuck do you do besides getting played on these damn, reality TV shows? Okay. Anyways, so Baby Blue and, Shay, they're going back and forth. Pleasure escorts her out. And she's like, why I gotta be calm For you, why I gotta be calm and you allow motherfuckers to disrespect me. And Spectacular, he comes up on the conversation like, nobody is disrespecting you though. And Shay is like, I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about that fat pig, Twinkie, whatever she was calling him over there and all this other stuff. And Spec is like, Spectacular, he's like, because you came into our shit. You know what I'm saying? And Shay is like, no, I came into his shit. And I'm like, last time I recall, the group is Pretty Ricky, not Pleasure P and the guys, or Pleasure P and Pretty Ricky. Pretty Ricky. Yes, a lot of people like the group because of Pleasure. I mean, personally, I like the group because of Pleasure and Spectacular. But I mean, like, at the end of the day, it's Pretty Ricky. It's not just Pleasure shit. So yeah, you know what I'm saying? And he's, Spectacular is telling her, you can't be coming up in here just disrespecting motherfuckers, you know what I'm saying? And she's like, I'm not disrespecting you. The only one I'm disrespecting is this fat Twinkie over here and everything. And she mad because Pleasure P not saying shit or whatever. And it's like, you came in on the bullshit. And so she's like, yeah, I see where you saying and everything. And he's like, yeah, I see too, whatever, you know what I'm saying? And she's like, let me give you my ass to kiss, and just being just so fucking ratchet and being a fucking bird, okay? Child, I cannot. I really cannot. Okay, so then we get Bobby Lights and Miami Tip. They know each other. They've been friends for years, and, he still feels some type of way about the situation with Trina. And, she always gives him great advice. And they show like this little scene where, Miami Tip is telling him, Trina is not wrong for, being cautious or whatever, because you be doing the fucking most sometimes and everything. And, she's like, she has love for the both of them because she has a relationship with Trina as well. So, she's like, listen, Trina is having, I'm having lunch with Trina. Why don't you come and everything? So they go to the lunch or whatever. Trina sees him and, her mood instantly changes. And I'm like, damn, like, Trina, I know he be doing the most. But I mean, damn, your mood instantly changes soon as he comes in. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, at least give him a chance first before he cut up, But anyways, I get it though. I get where Trina's stance is too, because when somebody has continuously showed you a certain behavior, you just kind of do expect the worst from them. You know what I'm saying? But anyways, so she tells Miami, I didn't know you was bringing company or whatever. And, he tells her, I feel like, I'm family and everything. And I just want you to understand where I'm coming from. So the assistant, Alvin, he jumps in or whatever. Like, you're always coming extra and everything. And Bobby is like, oh, I'm sorry. Who are you? And, Alvin, he's like, no, he's saying that him and Alvin have been into like, fist fights in the past or whatever, which we already know. And, he thinks Alvin is jealous of him because he's Trina's cousin and, Alvin is not. I'm like, but look who Trina chooses to hang with. Alvin, not you. And you want to be up under Trina. So I think he kind of is in a better position than you are right now, in a way, despite the fact that you and Trina are cousins. But anyway, so Alvin is like, you want my spot with Trina and it's not going to happen or whatever. And, Trina tells them both to shut the fuck up. And, she tells, what's the boy, Bobby, he can't be acting the fool in public and everything. And, Miami, she's like, listen, Bobby, I don't know what he on. I thought he was going to come in cool, but, he about to fuck up my shit that I got with Trina. She's like, I'm not too sure why Trina doesn't support, Bobby's music, but she supports mine, and I ain't trying to fuck that up, So, Alvin is like, I can't be fake or whatever. I don't want to eat at the table with him and everything. And, Miami is like, what's the problem? Alvin calls him a bum bitch and everything. Alvin, not Alvin. Bobby sits there for a minute and then throws some shit at him, and they trying to get at each other and everything. Security escorts Bobby out. Trina goes outside with Bobby, and he feels as though the minions are always disrespecting him, and she's like, first of all, can we stop calling them minions? They're people. And Bobby is like, he started with me. What am I supposed to do? Ignore it? And I will say, Alvin did start with him first. And Trina, I felt like you should have checked Alvin too. You feel what I'm saying? Especially calling your cousin a bum bitch. Like, yeah, I felt like you should have checked Alvin too. Because he started the shit. But Bobby, you gave the reaction that they were expecting from you. And that was popping off. You could have just walked the fuck away and been like, you know what? Okay, that's cool. You know what I'm saying? You did exactly what they expected from you. Which is why Trina don't be having you around now. But anyways, so Trina is like, listen, you cannot, fuck up my brand and all this other stuff. And Bobby is like, when I'm around you, I don't want to deal with them and everything, and they should have an understanding as to where I stand in your life, and I've never been ill to you, I've never done no fuck shit to you. And Trina's like, no, you haven't, but my crew is trained to act accordingly. You know what I'm saying? And he's like, he wants respect. And respect, as his her cousin and everything, and he's not trainable. So he says, he's gonna make it in the music, business with or without her, and that's it or whatever. And she's like, okay, we'll see and everything. It's cool, like Trina was just so nonchalant about the shit. I was like, damn, and they part ways. And that pretty much was the episode, you guys. Hopefully future reviews don't be this long, but it was the first episode. But make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe. Make sure you guys come back. Make sure you guys share here, share there, share every motherfucking where. And I will see you guys in the next video. Peace out.